So guys, this will be my second take on this video. I already took before the first one for the first version, but because I switched the Hotend, before I was using this type of Hotend, and I decided to go and use the Bambu Lab ones. That is more convenient. I know that there's more aftermarket. You can even buy official Bambu Labs one. I decided to buy Bambu Labs one that is this type, so you guys can get more access with this one than this one. But many people already have also this one. This one is a Triangle Lab. I think it's Triangle Lab style because it has this type of mount. But Bambu Lab one has these two screws. So I went ahead, I designed for the Bambu Lab Hotend because it's smaller, it has less footprint, and the enclosure, the print head will look smaller and more beautiful. So I decided to go ahead, since I'm already started this thing, go ahead and design it all for the Bambu Lab type of Hotend. And it was a good idea because now it's more beautiful, the design, and is actually the print quality is still the same, but just the design is more beautiful. So I will still have available the video for this one, but for now let's install this one. And I already have the printed parts. The printed parts, they are all ready. Without further ado, let me start this installation. We're going to install actually is the stepper motor in the print head, okay? So from this side, we are going to put the stepper motor. I'm gonna take two M3 by 6 millimeters screws to fix this stepper motor on the place. Okay, this is the stepper motor, is the first step, and the second step we are going to use the Bambu Lab gear. Okay, this is gear made for A1 and A1 Mini. Let's open it. It comes like this. I bought this one from official Bambu Lab store. You see, it comes like this, the gear, and also they give you 2 ball bearings. Okay, guys, if you buy aftermarket, normally they don't give you ball bearings, but I'm not sure. The ones that I bought before, they didn't give me ball bearings, so the price difference not so much. I advise you, if you buy, just buy the Bambu Lab one. Plus the aftermarket, they did a slight change in this tensioner. They put it with there's also some teeth on this gear, which will help to push more with more force the filaments, but it will indent the filaments more, which might result to more VFX in your print part. So I advise you just get the Bambu Lab one. Is not so expensive actually, and plus they give you the ball bearings. You don't need to go to buy ball bearings separately. I have many of these ball bearings already at home, but I'm gonna use the one the Bambu Lab gave me. So the ball bearing, you're gonna use the first one. Now we just put this first ball bearing here in the print part. Okay, this is the main body of my print part that I designed. It is perfect. It will just fit there really tight. And the second part, we will add the gear. Okay, but as you can see, the gear here, there's a little play between gear and the extruder that we installed before. That's why I like to do the extruder not so tight first time, like this, and we can move the extruder until you get it in perfect tolerance. That will be like just perfect with the extruder gear. And now we can add the screw M3 by 6. M3 by 8, M3 by 10 also all works, is okay. So make sure that when you move it, it's just perfect. Like you see, it's still moving. Not too tight, because if you make it too tight also you might have problem with your stepper motor when it's trying to work. So make it just perfect. And now you can tighten the one inside, because before I didn't tighten it. When you know that it's just perfect, you see, now they can go together perfect. Okay, we need to do our cover. Okay, the cover also, if you want, you can install a LED that I actually have installed in the other installation. Let me zoom it a little so you can see. This cover also, there's a space you can put LED if you want. But in this one, because this printer have a board that doesn't support RGB LED, I'm not going to install LED on this one, but I will show you the installation of the other one that I put LED because the other board can support RGB. After, you are going to put also the other ball bearing in this cover, okay? This is the second part of our extruder. Our extruder is divided in two parts. One is the main body and the other one is the cover. And you can see also this ball bearing can fit perfect here. And you press it, make sure that it's sitting flush. I will press it with something. Yeah, it's sitting perfect now. As you can see, the main thing is them two. They will just go on top of each other like this. But we need first also to install our filament tensioner, okay? And for the filament tensioner, you're gonna need a pin, okay? I don't know if it's the correct name to call them. Is a small pin that here I bought it. The size of this one is 80 millimeter by 3. Diameter is 3 and the length is 18. If you get 20 also is okay, because I made it for space for 20, because 18 is just right. 20 I think will be even better. So you will put the pin here in this hole next to the extruder, okay? When you put the pin, press it a little bit. Be gentle, don't press with too much force to not break this printed part. So when you put this pin here, you can put the extruder tensioner, but extruder tensioner also needs a spring here, okay? Guys, about the spring, you need to buy, there's a lot of spring in hardware store. You can even use the ones for the pen, but this one needs to have a little bit more force. The pen one is too soft, I think. Okay, the spring here I have is 8 millimeter length and 5 millimeter diameter, okay? It doesn't have to be exactly 8 and 5, but you can work with what you have. If it doesn't fit, you can try to buy exactly 8 and 5 millimeter diameter, okay? So when you install the pin, this spring first, we need to put this M3 by 8 screw in the side first. M3 by 8. By the way, there's a lot of inserts in this printed part. If you can see here, pay attention in the inserts where they will be. I will put the CAD picture, you'll know where the inserts should go, okay? There's two M3 nuts here, the square ones. Actually, let me install here before I forget, because when I install all cables, it will be more difficult to install it. Sometimes I do forget, because this is my many installation, because I have been doing so many prototypes. This is the final version. This is not prototype anymore. It's going to be installed in all my printers, because first time I did for test, but since the print quality is coming amazing, I decided to upgrade all my printers with this new designed print head. I recommend you also to install it in your printer. You'll see the difference. Okay guys, after you can see here that all cables are, no, not all cables, all those inserts, where they go here. These two, one is to hold the Hotend on place, and these ones are for the cover. Anyway, pay attention where are them. This part is done, but we still need to put this pin, this tensioner. Okay, I need to put this tensioner here, but this tensioner needs to go with this M3 screw that is coming here inside. You can see this M3 screw is coming out here. From here you put is coming out here. But for it to be in place, you will need a printed part that I designed also. This spring, it will go with this printed part here. you can screw it a little bit. It's meant actually to be screwed. I made it perfect for this to fit inside. You can screw it a little bit. It will sit, so it will not be falling. It will not get lost. The other side you'll have this hole, and this hole is to go perfectly where is this M3 screw, okay? So normally I have the the problem, it's always falling while I'm installing it. So I like to put the double side glue just to keep it in place, because it's annoying when you install it, sometimes it falls. I have this double side, small, very tiny double side tape. I'll put one here. So actually you can do the same for your A1 if you don't want the spring every time when you open it. Actually, I don't think you even open your A1 extruder, because you almost don't have any problem with A1s. I believe the same will be with this extruder also. You'll not have problem. So you'll not need to be replacing stuff or fixing stuff, because it's the same concept, guys. Now that you see it's not falling because I put the double side tape here. So you just need to put it on place. And let me unscrew this screw here because it's not letting it to go inside. Okay, now it's inside. We can screw this screw back. You see, it's fitting perfect. And here, if you want, you can make a longer screw also. You'll have more pressure, but I don't recommend you to put too much pressure, because you might get the filament get stuck if you put too much pressure. So I just put it. It will just be perfect, just perfect, because this one, when the filament is passing, it tends to have pressure, so it will just push it. So like this. If you don't want to install the button, because I have the version without the buttons to load and unload the filament, like this, you can just close it and you just need to install the PTFE tube support here. But for my printers, I want to install the buttons, of course, because this is the one of main thing I really like about this improvement in this print head, the button to load and unload filaments. The button is here, so tiny that I printed. You will have the file also to print yours. The buttons are there, but also we need to install the tactile switch. The tactile switch, you need to do the cabling by yourself. If you know how to solder, to do that, it will be very convenient. If you don't know how to, I cannot teach you that part right now because I'm not professional in solder, but I do it for fun. Anyway, I'm gonna solder that part. I don't need to show you that part in the video, but it's quite easy, guys. Let me take the tactile switch just to show you how it looks like. As you can see here, let me try to zoom it so you can see how it looks like. It's this type of button. It's very satisfying, the sound of it. After we finish the soldering, we're gonna put a little of hot glue here on top, so this tactile will not come out anytime. Even though in the design here we have something to stop it from coming out, but just in case I will still reinforce and put the hot glue on top of it. You don't have to, but I think will be more safe to make sure it will never come out. Just put a little bit to make sure that the tactile is more connected to this case. So guys, we can put a little bit hot glue here just to make sure that this switch is not coming out. Put on top. Don't make too much mess, just put a little bit. Leave it to dry. You want it like this. It's going in the top because there's another door here that they should come out, okay? So make it to go in the top. I don't know if okay, like this. This is the top, okay? Put a little bit more hot glue also to just make sure it will be not moving out, because there's an extruder gear around. You don't want this cable to be colliding with extruder gear when it's working. This part is so small, so we need to find a space to work around, okay? Like that. The hot glue will dry soon. And this part is done, guys. This part is done. And our extruder gear is working perfect. What I like to do also, I like to put a little bit of lube in this extruder gear, like Bambu Lab always advise you. Also sometimes you need to glue to lube a little bit this gear so it will have less wear or is more smooth. I have the glue, the lube. I'm gonna put the lube right now, and then after we can close this case. When we close it, we're going to the next step. I'm gonna lube now this gear. I have this dark lube that before it came with a gear that I bought, another aftermarket gear, so I'm gonna use the same lube here. We need to spread it all around. Don't put too much, and you just need to lube this part of gear, this yellow part. Don't lube this black part, because this black part is not the gear, it's just to push the filament. If you lube that part, your filament will be skipping. It's a bad idea, okay? Just lube this yellow part, like I'm doing right now. Now we can spin it a little bit just to make sure it will spread around. And the excessiveness one, you can just clean it up. So last thing we're gonna do before we put this on its place, we're gonna put this PTFE tube holder here. I designed this one, it has something inside here. We don't need to glue it, we just push it, it will go and fit perfect, it will not come out, okay? We just push with a little force in this hole. It has something to hold it. I designed it to when it goes inside, it will not just come out, okay? So like this is perfect. Now we can just pass this cable. First we're gonna do is pass this cable. And we can close this one, okay? We close it, but just put one screw first, because we need to remove it still to pass some cables later. This is just temporarily. I'm gonna use M3x8 screws here. I'm just gonna put one for now. Later we need to add 3 more, but for now we just put one because we still need to open this thing, because some cables need to pass here inside and come out in the back. So right now what we're gonna do, we are going to install our print head on its place. But before that, if you use this, because this thing is a little modular, I made a different type of fan shroud. This one, I made it that you can use, okay, I made actually several modular type. One is to use the probe that is Finder probe, second one BL touch or 3D touch, and this one is microprobe. Is my favorite because it's so tiny, it will go inside of the shroud and you will not see it. It will be like A1, it will be like A1 when is doing the home, you will not see even where's the probe. I really like this microprobe. I have it in 2 of my printers. So I designed it, it will just fit just perfect here inside. So first we are going to put this probe, we are going to take the cable of the probe. Let me take the cable and do it right now, because if you forget to do the cable, you may need to remove everything just to put the cable back, okay? So we put the cable of the probe right now. I should have shown you how to install this one, but it's quite easy. Just press it. It will be just tight enough. It will not moving around. If you want, you can add a little bit hot glue around, but don't add on top because it's just right with these linear rails. If you add on top, you might have it to be stuck. So don't add on top. If you add a little bit in the side, but you don't need actually any glue because it will just go and fit there really tight. It will not move around, okay? So right now what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna put first the cable for the microprobe here. I'm gonna put the cable first because if you don't do it now, it will be difficult to do later. So now we need 2 M3x10. The one that is chamfer, as you can see here, is chamfer. We're gonna use the chamfer one because later we need to put the fan here, okay, the Hotend fan. And there's no space if you don't use the chamfer one. So this is a must, okay? At least you need one of it, at least one. Just because here there will be a fan. Where's the fan actually? The Hotend fan should sit here. So if you don't have chamfer one, it will not fit well, okay? it will be too tight. If you have more, it's better, but at least one is a must. So when you do it, so we pass the microprobe cable in front here, and then now we can screw this together. Because I already did the insert before, I didn't show you the video how to insert this, but in the other version 1 I showed the video how to do the inserts. But you can see the picture where you can put the insert. That's so super easy. That I don't think something I need to show you. I'm trying to keep this video as short as possible because this will take so much to edit. So we put both 2 screws here. Tighten it. Don't go too crazy, especially if you have ABS, because ABS like to crack if you go too much. I did a mistake because this type of, I have 2 styles of fan shroud. The one that's flat, you can just install it first. This one that have this to put the vertical fan, you need to install after you put it there. So let me remove it and then I will install it after I put it in the gantry. I didn't put in the gantry yet. First we put the main body in the gantry, and then after we can put the fan shroud. Okay, to put in the gantry also, you're gonna use this M3x10 flathead. If you don't have flathead, you can use the normal ones, but I like these flatheads because it will give you more space to work with. That's why I designed them all to take the flathead. Especially in this part that's so tiny, and then we need to work, we need more space here. Okay, this one should be M3x20. Yeah, it will just perfect in there. So now we have all the screws there. Now it's time to install this fan shroud. Guys, another thing is that the belt should be connected on top, not down, okay? On top. So here is the shroud, as we can see here, moving freely. If you put your microprobe just sitting perfect on it, it will not stuck. But if your microprobe is a little bit too high, it might stuck on the gantry, okay? Because it's designed just perfect. It just have 0.2 millimeter tolerance. Let's install now is the Hotend fan, okay? This Hotend fan, guys, is the smallest one that I got. That is 25 by 10 millimeter, okay? 25 by 10 millimeter is enough. Actually, it's working perfect in the other printer. So I see most of print head, they have the huge Hotend cooling, but it's not necessary. If you see most of good print heads, they don't have big part cooling fan. Even the Bamboo Lab ones, they have the small one, is enough. Because if you add the big ones, they will just make your print head more heavier. We don't want our print head to be too heavy. Actually, all the setup will be just 125 milligrams, okay? It's not heavy at all. In the input shaper, I'm getting perfect grafts. And the score is really high. With my stepper motor, I'm getting about 85 to 90. I don't know what that number means, but I know that higher is better. So, but the print head is quite light, 125 milligrams. I remember that before with this one, just this part, this metallic part, I think is about 40 milligrams. But anyway, any print head that I had before was heavier than this one. This one is like, in the volume looks a little taller, but in reality is lighter than the other print heads that I made before. At least that I made before, because I like to make the print head, so this is not my first one. This is actually my 5th design of print head, but this one I think after this one I don't want to design any more print head because I'm so satisfied with this one. And plus we have the button to load it and unload, which is so nice. So just now guys, I put the screw in to keep the fan, Hotend fan together, and the screw is M312, okay? M312, don't need to be too long, okay? It doesn't even come out in the other side. Here, we need to put 2 of them. If you want, just use 1 is enough, because anyway, it's stuck here inside. It will not be moving around, but I'm gonna put 2 because I have to, why not? So the Hotend fan is already installed. The last thing that we need to install is Hotend. Don't need to install Hotend in advance because otherwise we cannot have space to install this thing that I'm installing right now. And just now I found out I forgot to do insert here. I need to do 1 more insert here for the cover to close, but I will do that later. So guys, these 2 cables are done. The next one, what is missing is the Hotend, right? Right now, we're going to remove these again. As I told you before, just put 1 screw because we need to open it again to pass the cables. Remove it. Be careful when you remove it because sometimes everything comes together. We don't want that. It better press this one and push it. Okay. Now that we remove it, now let's pass this cable, guys. This is organizing cable. There's a space for the cable to go behind. I put the cable to go behind. I don't like the cables to be visible, and at the same time it will be better organized. So I designed something so the cable can be hidden behind it. Like this, we know that our cable will not get burned by the Hotend. It's more safe actually. So we have to pass here the cable is the fan for Hotend, the MicroProbe. If you have other type of probe, I'll show you, it's the time to pass it. There's the other probes that they will be here in front. So you need to pass the cable right now. And now we can install the Hotend on the place. You need 2 M3x16 to place this Hotend on place. Guys, you can take notes what screws you need because, or just buy a bunch of screws. Have M3. The screws that most you need is M3x20. You need by 25, you need 2 M3x25, and you need many M3x6 or M3x8, okay? 6 or 8 is fine, just choose. I recommend get M3x8, it's better than 6, okay? So you know that you'll not have difficulties when you're installing if it's too short. And guys, I recommend you to print this main body in ABS or PETG. Don't do PLA because PLA, if anything happens, it will just melt. It will not be so well. So do it at least in PETG. In other printer I did it PETG, but this one I did it in ABS because I like to print hot stuff in this printer. So it will get quite hot in this printer. So I use ABS, is better. So you put the 2 M3x16 screws to fix this Hotend on place. It will be very well fixed, actually. And now, guys, we just need to pass these 2 cables here, the thermistor cable and the heater cable. I like to pass the thermistor cable first, and the heater cable is the last because it's hard. You can control it to not be moving around. But that depends on your cable. You do your cable organization, try to make it more tight is better. Like mine, you can see right now it looks really tidy and I like it actually. So like that, guys, it's done, okay? This part is all done. We can now put all the screws to close to close this part, okay? Let's use all the screws that we need. We need 2 M3x8 screws here. in the sides, 2 M3 by 8, and in the other side we need M3 by 25. Yeah, this one, M3 by 25. We need 2 of them. Actually, you can just do 1 of them if you want, like this is enough. The top one, not the bottom one. The bottom one you can just reinforce, but it's not really necessary because these 3 like this is enough, okay? Where is it? If you have this type of fan shroud, you need to pass it right now. And if you have this type, you don't need to pass it now, because this type you pass it on top, okay? This type, I mean this one that I installed, not this one. I will show you the picture there. Yes, that one you need to pass the cable on top, not in the button, okay? Because this vertical one you need to pass the cable on top, but the horizontal one you need to pass it button. So when you're done all of these, guys, everything in front is okay. We just need to put the spinning logo, this extruder visualizer, that when extruder is working it will be rotating, and then you can put the cover, okay? Okay. And then you can put the cover, and you lock the cover with 1 M3 by 5 or M3 by 6 or M3 by 8, whatever you have, but don't need to be too long, okay? I'm using here M3 by 6. You put 1 of them here and 1 in the side, but the side one I didn't put yet because I forgot to do the inserts in there. And then there is the front of your extruder. So if you want to use the horizontal front shroud setup, you will need to sacrifice one of your 50-15 fan blower, and you need to cut it, as you can see here I'm doing in the video. We need to trim it on this angle so it can be able to fit on the model that I designed for this fan, as you can see here on this video. The last thing we need to do is the belt lock. I will show you how to install one belt lock, the other one will be the same. Pay attention to the right and left direction of our belt lock. The right one, this part should be on your side, okay? And this should be the top. Installation is quite easy actually. We just need to see like this. We pass the belt from this side, okay? It should go button, because this part, it should go inside of this 2020 rails, okay? By the way, my linear rails is MG9H something like this, 9HN or something. Okay, I'll put in the description, you can see which one. By the way, every parts that I have here, I'll put link in the description. Just go ahead and go and click on the links. I don't have any affiliate link because nobody sponsors me. Also, I don't know how to do this affiliate yet, but yeah, go and check the links in the description. So here we align the tips of the belt with this belt locking. We can just press them. It will fit perfect like that. Now that's fitted, the only thing we need to do is to install it, okay? I advise you, don't cut your belt before you finish, you do all the installation. Wait when you put the belt lock, and then you'll know where to cut, okay? As we can see, we have many cable that is coming out here. That's why I told you, first we do the cable and then after we do the belt. And we put the belt now. Make sure the belt is not smushing any of these cables. By the way, when I designed this thing, sometimes I try to plan the size of the screws to be all similar, so it will be easier for you guys to have just few type of screws that will just work. But sometimes it's impossible to keep same size of screws because it will influence the design as well. Lock it now. So that's all, guys. The last part, what we need to do is just do the cable connections. I have all my cables here. That part I cannot teach you because each person have different type of cable connection in their printer. You should know your cables. I put them all here. I will connect the extruder with the extruder. I also have this, how you call it, input shaper sensor. I have other cables here. I will connect all the cables together, and then after we just need to put the cover in the back. Some people will use the EBB. I have also the parts that is EBB I installed in the other printer actually with EBB36, EBB42. I also made a version of the cover that you can just install on those EBB, and then you'll have the CAN Bus cable. But this printer, because I'm not using any of those boards, I'm just gonna pass the cable here inside, and the cable will go to my printer. And that's all. I will just cut this part because we just have 7 minutes left. So guys, as you can see, the cables, I connect everything together. For the thermistor cable, we have this small, because I'm using the Bambu Lab Hotend. If you always buy Bambu Lab Hotend, they always send with this small P1, I think it's P1S or P1P. They always send with this small connector that is very difficult to crimp. But I managed to buy the female of it, the receiver, and I crimp them together. But to crimp that, you must have a special crimping tool that's super tiny. It's so difficult to print it, and then make sure that your cable will be so small, because if the cable is big, it's almost impossible to crimp it. So I connect them together here. So every time I change if I need to change the thermistor, I just need to switch this thermistor. I don't need to recrimp it because I already did. I installed the female for it. But if not, you need every time to use the normal JST style, and you need to crimp it every time when you change the thermistor. So I also installed this sensor here inside. I already have the design for this sensor. ADXL 365, okay? I already have the sensor for it. You can install in the print head. And all the cables are passing here, as you can see. Now we can just manage the cable here inside, and we can close it. To close it, we need to put 2 screws here. So we put 2 screws, one here, the other one here. And later, we take this thing, that's for the cable, to organize the cable, to lock the cable actually. You have a zip ties, okay? It has a zip ties path. Let me show you. It has a zip ties path that you pass your zip ties here inside. You can see. And then later, you use the snake, I don't know how you call it, snake sleeve. And you lock everything together, you put 2 screws, and that's all. So we already finished the installation. Here you do your cable management inside here, and I pass all the cables. They are going to the board. And that's all, guys. It's super easy to install, as you can see. And now I'm gonna turn it on, fire it up and turn it on, and we do some PID tuning, also input shaper, and we can start printing. And by the way, everything's here. The links will be in the description. You can know where you can go and download the files. Also, you can know where you can the links to buy the parts that you need. I will put them all in the description below. Make sure you like, subscribe, and all this good stuff. Stay awesome. Peace.